Hey folks, sorry about this. As you can see here, you're probably gonna see you're seeing my share screen. Facebook Live is not being user friendly tonight, so it's not showing my active team group. So we're not going to do a Facebook Live. We're just going to record this session. Let me just stop the screen share for one moment so we can kind of share together. One moment and view speakers. There we go. Okay, well, thank you for attending here this evening, folks. And I know that for some of you, that may seem repetitive, but actually, really tonight, the message is we need to get back to business and building our Max business. And it's wonderful to have all of these product approach and affiliate and all of this stuff. It's all nice and dandy, but at the end of the day, what creates a solid residual income that generates a lifestyle that Tammy and I have been fortunate to live off. This what we're going to be shared tonight is exactly how we did it. And that what we're going to be sharing. In fact, Eric spent a lot of time this weekend. Well, it's not this weekend. It used to be in the weekends, but now because of the Super Bowl, it was during the week. And he spent a lot of time talking about strategies on how to build an organization that will thrive. And Tammy and I can relate to what he shared because we have done that decades ago, which is the reason why we've built such a massive organization. Many of you are not aware of this because we don't talk about this often, but Tammy and I have built a business model that has over 623,000 names in our tree. 623,000. Now, I'm not sharing this to brag. I'm going to share this up to impress upon you that once you start creating a model that duplicates and people actually duplicate this model, that's when things explode. And that's when fortune can be made. I wouldn't say overnight. I know it's an expression that we used. It's obviously a lot of work and labor, but this is how you grow an organization. People have to have a very clear vision and a clear direction on what needs to be done to be able to earn an income. And that income is based on what we call the core rank. I'll give Tammy an opportunity to share before we share my screen here. But that core rank has to be not too difficult, but not too basic. It's that one rank that if it's repeated over time, it can take you all the way up to Crown Diamond, which you guys have witnessed this. Many of you have actually. So we want to come back and kind of revisit this strategy. It's not a really difficult call tonight, but it's more of a recap on what's important to build the model of Max International, to build our business. Back to you, Tammy, if you want to add a few words there.
Yeah, it's all about building the simple steps. And the more you repeat simple steps over and over and over, then it gets duplicated. So I think, always back to the basics, always back to the simplicity. And sometimes as leaders, you need to be reminded that you have to get back to the basics because you get so comfortable doing something, you just think it's normal, right? And then not realizing that many people are not at that simple, basic level. So it's getting back into the trenches and getting back into the fundamentals on what got you there in the first place. So some of you are ranked and when you were in your biggest momentum ever, this is what you were doing when we go through this training. This is exactly what you were doing. We're going to have this strategy, which you all know is the primes. That's the strategy. But the core rank is the bronze rank that we're going to be talking with you about. And some of you are going to be passing this on to new partners, and they're learning this for the first time. For those of you who have been around, and this is a refresher for everybody. So let's get started.
Absolutely, Tammy. I want to confirm, are all of you seeing the reaching your core rank right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay, so this is a refresher, as I stated earlier. As I mentioned, it's time to get back to business. And I know that some of you have in mind, but what if we ran out of products again? What if this happens? What if that happened? I'm aware. Tammy and I are very aware. But we're going to give you some tips on what we're doing to to overcome this challenge dealing with all the different variety of products. There is a reason why, and you guys are aware that we're starting a bi-monthly, is it bi-monthly? Twice a month, right? Every 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a health kind of seminar, matter of speaking, right? It's a 15-minute presentation, which is, it could be 15 to 20 minutes, which is really 10 minutes of presentation and about 5 minutes of testimonies. In some cases, it might be a little longer because some of the testimonies, you kind of let it run. You want to let it run because it's such an incredible story and it's hard to do in 2 minutes. But we definitely want to compress this because we want to use that as tools. And this is going to be broadcasted on the live channel on the Active Team group. If you're not aware, I recommend to register for this channel. Just make sure that you subscribe to the Active Team group channel. And specifically under the live tab, you're going to see that we're booking some sessions where one on Thursday, Tammy and I are going to be presenting the science and the products. And the guest speakers that are going to be sharing are going to be Jasmine and Joseph Wojtecki, our CEO. I've asked Joe to come in because he has a compelling story with the products. And at the same time, he is the CEO of the company. So it kind of brings a lot of credibility when the executive of the company is as strong, his belief is as strong as it is for us. You know, often people think, well, of course, you're a network marketer, you want to make money, you're going to talk about your product. But when you have the executive sharing the same kind of enthusiasm, it brings credibility. That's going to be our first call. And then the next one is going to be on the 29th, which is every second Thursdays of the month. Now, in line of that, we understand that there is an affiliate program out there. And every network marketing companies are doing that particular segment. But the affiliate, it's a great add-on to create extra income, but it is only available to American citizens. If you're a Canadian, it doesn't apply. If you're anywhere outside the United States, at the moment, it doesn't apply. For me, when you tell me, well, it's coming, it's wonderful, but we need to put food on the table today, not in a month or 2 or 3 from now. So the business model, it exists, it is here now, and it's been running for 17 years and still going. Now, what we're going to do here is along this program, along this training, we're going to share with you our strategy of what we're going to focus on. And I'm sure some of you know, clue is longevity. Okay. I've spoke to Joe. I asked him, do you foresee running out of this anytime soon? He says, absolutely not. We have plenty of that. So the fact here is if we sell a lot of this longevity, the income comes in, obviously, the company can always resupply. So the fact here is I'm going to be focusing on the longevity alone. And I do suggest as we sharing Reaching Core, focus on the longevity for now. It's wonderful. We have the ATP, we have the Infuse, we have the Max One, we have all of those. But we know that at the moment, it's on and off, but the longevity we have. So build with what you have and focus on that. And with this in mind, now let's focus on reaching your core rank. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you on what are the basic principles on the core rank.
Yeah, so you can either screenshot this or write it down. But the core rank, the goal is to, and we have a layout of the 90 days. So the goal is obviously to reach it within the first 30 to 90 days. Some people are going to fly with this. They have a great social environment. They're influential. They may have great email database lists. So some are going to do it faster than others. And it's possible the person that you bring in will do it quicker than you and highly celebrate them. And so everybody's different, right? Everybody has a different time commitment and a drive. Everybody's different. And so number 2 is to balance it. Okay, balance left and right. And don't just put people on one side and hoping and praying you're upline leader is going to build the other side. That's not the way to build this business structure. Okay. For those of you who know how to build it, you know what it takes, right? Building it left and right. It might take a little bit longer, but boy, when you go into momentum, it's massive and you're not struggling on one side. Okay. So it's important to create balance in your business because we do have a binary structure, left and right. So go left, go right. You can create a three left, one on the other side, see how it goes, put three, you know what I mean? Like you just work it so that you're creating balance. Number 3 is $200 to $500 a month. That's the goal, is to help people make $200 to $500 every single month. Because if somebody's making $200 to $500, guaranteed they're going to stick around. Because number one, the biggest goal ever is not to pay for your products. That's a phenomenal story, by the way. That's a great story that you can tell people. That's your add-on story. Hey, you know, I consume these products free every single month. I can show you how, because you're doing it, right? So these are great stories to have. Number 4 is, can you use this core rank to go all the way to the top? Or you can use it for sure. You can go all the way to the top with this, because it's always about building the foundation. When you build the foundation solid, everybody's duplicating. It's that cookie cutter, right? It's that same cookie over and over and over and over again until you get massive, massive growth. And that's what Chris was talking earlier. There's a lot of leaders that went into massive, massive growth in all international markets. And the reason they did that is because they made sure that the fundamentals, which is your core rank, is being duplicated within the organization. If you hit your core rank, guaranteed you can teach somebody to hit your core rank. Guaranteed you can teach them. But if you're not there, then the focus is getting there. Okay, so you got to look at where you're at right now, not the rank that it says that you're at, but look at your true rank, and the goal is to build that up. So, for example, if you're a silver and you haven't reached your bronze, because things like that happen, right? Especially with the challenges through the pandemic, then your goal is to get that core rank solid, and then find the people within that core rank that you can get to that core rank bronze as quick as possible, which puts you back up to a silver rank. So look at where you are if you're existing in the organization now. Somebody who's brand new, this is perfect for you, because you're getting the fundamentals on how to create your core rank.
So that's the point that I really like about the concept, the core rank, is just by repeating this, you can get all the way to the top. So just a quick recap is, how do you qualify? Well, it's really straightforward. I'm going to keep that you can turn on and look at some of the details that are over here. But what's really, really important over here is that you maintain your 100 PV. PV stands for personal volume. You need to have personally enroll, active, and again, we'll repeat some of those things in a different kind of angle based on strategies, but this is coming straight from the company's page, right? You need to have enroll, one on the right side, one on the left side, personally enroll, that are active with a 100 CV. You also need to have monthly active. One of the sides, especially the pay team, has to be 2,000 CV. The other side could be banked. For those of you who understand what I'm talking about, because you've been around for a longer time, so that's totally cool. But one of the sides has to be new volume. Okay. So when that happens in that calendar month, then you qualify as a bronze. The key is not to hit it one time and then get back to a senior associate, is you want to maintain the rank. And that's the strategy that we want to talk about, which again, for most of you, it's a revision. Okay. So it's really that simple. Again, 100 PV, that's personal volume. For example, 2 bottles CellGVD or whatever it is that you consume. You make sure that you have one person on your left team, one person on your right team that are ordering also 100 CV, which is 2 of any of our products. And we do recommend to really focus on the CellGVD for the time being. And the monthly lesser leg has to be 2000 CV, which is active volume during that month. And it will walk you the strategy in reference to the primes on how to maintain that 2000 CV every single month. It's as simple as that. Back to you, Tammy.
So here are some of the product packages that that all of you are familiar with. Maybe those of you who are brand new are not familiar with all the product packages, but I'm sure you came in with a package of your choice. As Chris said, our focus is really on the CellGevity. And I mean, you can do whatever it is that you want in building your business. There is an active pack where Enfuse and ATP is in there, and it gives people a chance to try all 3. That was our original strategy in building this, was to get people to try all 3. And by the time they chose their auto ship, then they would choose one of the 2. So now one thing that you can do is you can get the boxes of CellGevity or the 1-month bottles. It's up to you if you want to do some marketing with the 1-week bottles, you can do that. And plus your personal consumption, but don't just take your personal consumption, you guys. If you're just ordering personal consumption every month, you're not in business. If you don't have products to put in people's hands, you're not in business. You're just a consumer, a glorified customer, and consuming the product every month. So always make sure that you have some type of inventory. So when you are out and about and you happen to run into somebody or you're talking to somebody, when you don't have something in your hands, it's harder to move it, to just send somebody a link. You can do it. I mean, people do it, but when you have it on you, most likely you're going to get a sale if you have it on you. I think one person that's absolutely amazing at this, and I can attest to that because I've done different things with this person, is Erica Aguilar. That woman, she can move products. She never leaves home without her products, ever, 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 ever. And she comes from that Mary Kay direct sales strategy. So that's one thing that we can learn from direct sales, is always have inventory on you no matter what.
Now,
so yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were on, Tammy. Go ahead.
No, I am. These are just some of the packages. And when you're marketing, don't just talk about a personal pack. Okay. Always go high. And then based on where they're at, you go lower and lower and lower based on where they're at in wanting to get started. Because, you know, not everybody has the same mindset. Not everybody has the same financial budget, right? So for example, if you came in at the personal pack and all you're doing is promoting personal pack, you might miss an opportunity to get somebody who could put a whole bunch of products in people's hands. You give people choices, always choices. And the more seeds that people have to plant, and that's always your message to them, the more seeds that you have, the more you'll get products in people's hands. And so the more they consume the product, the more testimonies will come out of it. And that's when your business starts growing.
So the fact here is, there's extra packages, other packages. For example, there is a middle pack where you see here the CellGVD with $150, which is 2 boxes. Now, as for the cells aids, I don't know if this is still there, but at the end of the day, this is what we need. And we know that we do business online anyway. And there's obviously, this is the big pack, which is the premier pack that you see here. I'm looking, my head's turning because my screen is over here. And there's another one that's probably in the middle, which is either $529. I'm not sure what they may be, but I'm sure there is a CellGevity pack. So that's, personally, I love this package, and it gives you plenty of products where you have enough for personal consumption, but also to market your business. Where this package here, I mean, you get on it. I mean, 1 box is for you, and you have a significant other, then you don't have any products to give. So if that's the case, I would definitely go for a little bit more, or at least order this package and set your auto ship to be maybe within a few days or whenever you choose it's appropriate. And then from there, you can have your personal consumption with one bottle a month instead of buying the 4-week bottles. That's my strategy. That's what I would do. Okay. So these are the package available. And I do recommend, again, you go to your back office and verify. And also a little trick I want to share with you. Many of you here have access to, maybe you're not in this session here today. Maybe you're watching this webinar on a later date. Many of you have your own affiliate link. And when you look at the affiliate link and you look at all the products, because this is done in real time, whatever they have in back order, it'll tell you right there. So this is what I do. I also call her VIP, but it's actually very accurate. It never fails me. I look at my affiliate link and I see what's active, what's available, what's not. And when it's not, it says in back order. And if you try to order it, it'll send you a message stating that you can order it, pay for it now, but it'll be shipped on a later date. And I think also with your auto ship with Max, I noticed that this message was popping in also. But don't take a chance. We live in different times and we need to adjust how we go forward. And I suggest you check your affiliate link to make sure that these products are not in back order. Okay, that's something that I find has worked well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is to create a time target goal. It's very important, folks, right? You don't want to shoot from the hip. You want to have a time target goal. And maybe you've been in a business for a long time and maybe, you haven't reached a level you would have liked to reach. Well, remember, that's one thing that Eric was stating, because it's a very common scenario, right? Is every day is a new day and you can decide to start today. In other words, as of today now, I'm going to be doing the activities that Chris and Tammy are talking about on reaching the core rank. I'm going to be doing this right now. And then from there, select some target goals. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Tammy, to talk about the next 2 slides.
Yeah, so you want to put your first month. Here's the thing. They're doing another 20 and 30. Some of you are aware of this. Some of you get the emails. I know, Chris, you sent out an email recently. There's another 20 and 30.
I'll talk about it at the end of the call because there's another 20, 30 that Eric is organizing. I highly recommend to piggyback on these kind of things, especially because the facts it's nickel and dimes and it's really going to help you. Anyway, back to you, Tammy. Well, I'll come back to it.
So the reason I'm saying that is because you can line it up with the March.
Correct.
Right? So your first month would be March, second month would be April and May. You could do a March, April, May for your core rank strategy. Some of you will do it quicker. Some of you already have volumes and a foundation, just missing a few things. Some of you are brand new getting to core rank. So everybody, again, is at a different level. And then day 1, day 7, day 15, day 30. And we're going to go to the next slide so you have an example.
Yeah, and before we do that, Tammy, here's the thing, folks. I put the link here. Okay. And folks, this is $10. This is, I mean, it's a fancy Starbucks coffee. And the fact here is you can really take advantage of piggybacking on his activities. And then you also can use all the different calls and the things that are coming about. Like, for example, the health seminar that we're going to be doing, the live broadcasts every not every Thursday, but every second Thursday of the month. I mean, there's a lot of things that you'll be able to incorporate into your marketing activities. So, but this here, if you look at that link, this is going to take you to this page, and I highly, highly recommend you take advantage of that. There's one thing that I really, really like about Eric is he is extremely organized, structured, and disciplined. These are qualities I admire. This guy is so well thought out. You guys have been part of his events. You know how well organized this is. And even in tough times, he always finds a way to make things work. That's what I like about Eric. He's very structured, very organized. Follow the guidelines. And if you follow the guidelines with the core rank strategies, which you guys are aware right now, we're kind of revisiting this, and apply your strategies with your target goal and so forth, I'm telling you, you will do well. These products are in demand, guys. People are looking for these products. I get phone calls just very quickly, I had a phone call with a lady in California where her daughter depends on that. She met with Dr. Crozier. It's one of the doctor in Florida that was helping her out. She's dealing with a situation that the traditional environment, medical environment, cannot help. And I'm telling you, people need this stuff so badly. So the fact here is it's your posture and your conviction in the words you choose that you put behind how you deliver this message is going to make a difference on them wanting to be part of this or not. So back to you, Tammy, here. So you wanted me to change slides. So at this point, target goals. So what Tammy was referencing, day 1, 7, 15, 30. Well, these are the actual 20, 30 that you can apply within this context and have your target listed over here with dates.
Yeah, so I created an example flyer. Here we go. So March. So the goal in March, take a screenshot of this. Because if you work this, you're going to get results. If you've already achieved the core rank, then you want to make sure that your team members, who's on board, find out who's committed, who's on board that want to do this. And then you create some accountability with that person, with a few people that you're going to be working with that you personally bring in. Okay, so have those target goals. Day number 1 is auto ship. We always teach that, right? Especially when it comes to building the prime. And you could go prime 1, day 1, right? So that's one strategy, prime 1, day 1. If you have 5 people that are committed on auto ship on their first day, you're prime your first day. And then the goal is to get to prime 2 and help those people do the same thing. So you can imagine if you got all of those people trained and duplicated to do this target goal every month, then you're going to have a large growth spike that's going to happen, momentum that's going to happen. So day 1's auto ship. Day 7 is senior associate. The goal is to get 2 people in the first 7 days. That's the goal, to become senior associate. That's the target you want to get people aiming for. Day 15 is to bring in your 3rd. So you have another 8 days to bring in your new 3rd associate. Plus, each new associate, you want to get them to sign up at least 1 new associate. So you want to make sure not you just doing the work, you want to make sure your new people are actively doing the same thing, keeping them accountable. And then day 30, you'll have 5 associates on prime 1. So that's the real goal, is to do this. And if you do this and then you do it again the 2nd month and the third month, you'll see, once it duplicates, you'll see the growth.
Absolutely. And this is very conservative. See, what Eric is going to teach here is how to get 30 people in 30 days.
20.
Now we're being super modest. If you apply the rules and you actually work at this thing, you can get your 5 in month 1 and reactivate to become prime level 1. So now let's connect the dots. So we're going to bring out a sheet here that I know many of you are quite familiar with. The 5-step success. So number 1 is your auto ship. You want to make sure that you and whoever you bring on board understand the importance of these products. And I really think that the calls we're going to be doing on every second Thursdays are going to be very powerful. These calls are going to be saved and recorded because they're live and it will be sitting on the channel. And then you could find a call that you were maybe hosting or sharing a testimony, or a call that you felt was a call that you felt comfortable sharing to one of your prospects. So you can use all of these things combined with everything else that we have available here for you. But the first thing is you want to make sure you're on auto ship. The second thing is you want to make sure that you reach your senior associates. So if you're training me and you're telling me what I'm telling you, okay, what do I need to do? Well, right now you need to be active. That's what you would tell me. Make sure you pick 2 products. The second thing you want to do is within your first 7 days, find 2 people, one on your left side, one on your right side, that are doing exactly like you, that are on auto ship on 2 of the products. I would really recommend to focus on the Celgivity. The third step, the next goal that you want to do, Chris, is you want to reach prime bonus 1. Now that you have your left side and your right side, your goal is to enroll a total of 5 people. Now we recommend, and you can do this within 30 days. By the way, there's a program you can piggyback on that Eric Worre is hosting. Here, register for that and just plug him in. And then from there, within your first 30 days, he's going to teach you the strategy to get 20 people in 30 days. But we're targeting 5. Okay. We're being very conservative and very modest. We want to get 5 within the first 30 days. That's your next target. After that, Chris, what you want to do is you want to reach our core rank. This is one of the most, not the one, it is the most important rank of this company. Because if you are able to reach the level of bronze, and again, we'll show you the strategy in a minute here, but you need to have 2,000 CV. That means that there is people in your business on your left hand and your right team, and the combined orders brings it up to a total of 2,000 on the left side, on the right side, every 30 days. And that will bring you a check of anywhere between $200 to $500 a month. That is enough to keep you in business. The next step that you want to do, Chris, is you want to duplicate 1, 2, and 3, and 4, of course. And the fact is, by duplicating 1, 2, and 3, 4 will kind of by default occur. That's why the strategy is so brilliant. And if you keep that simple and apply this, you don't have to talk about the left side and the right side other than the fact that they need to understand and they need to balance, right? Just focus on that, the simple step. And that's what something that Eric was drilling on Wednesday and Thursdays. Is over time, we've created layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of information that is overwhelming to the new person. You want to go back to the core. This is the reason why tonight we're talking about this. Okay, very, very important. And also remind the people as I'm talking to you as if you're training someone else or telling someone else, is PV stands for personal volume. That's the volume that you order and the volume that are ordered from your own personal customers. And the CV is commissionable volume. That's the volume that it happens underneath you and your left and right team, which converts into money, into dollars in our currency. Okay, so that is the max action plan. These are the 5 steps that you want to duplicate with every single person that comes into the business. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, this was actually even updated, Chris. It's got the color coordination.
Yeah.
You got the front and back sheet that that people can grab on the boards as well. I don't know if you can access it now, but the goal is for you to be on 100 points, and the next goal is to have your 5, right? Each one consuming 100 points. So you can put your name, like you can use these sheets, print them up and use them as your strategy. And then those 5 people, you can see the 5 lines going down, and each one has 5 squares. So the goal is to get them to do the same thing. So this is a great map for you to follow to do this. And as you can see on the other side of that sheet, you've got the binary team bonus. So to become a bronze, which is the core rank, the goal is to have 2,000 points on one side, 2,000 points on the other side, qualified monthly to reach the bronze rank. And the goal is to do this every single month and growing to the next rank, getting your people to bronze. So when you see those 600 points, what that represents is your business partners, each one of them reaching their prime bonus. Because if they reach prime, it's because they have 100 personal and they have 5 people in their organization that have 100 points. Okay, so this is where it grows quite fast when you get people excited about getting their Prime 1 bonus.
Totally, Tammy. As a matter of fact, I'm not being distracted. I just kind of got the board and I put it here on the meeting chat. So you can actually download the board from there. Okay, this is the updated version that Tammy's talking about. It's color coded and it looks really nice. Okay, so that's the strategy here. And then you can use these sheets to kind of put names here. That's actually something that's very helpful. So you understand the number
too, Chris. It's
Sorry,
a great
Tammy?
sheet to prospect as well. Use that sheet so that it gives them a clear direction on what they need to do to build this.
Totally. So at this point, what happens here, and the reason we bring this slide before you is because again, we want you to have an illustration. I tend to be a bit of a numbers person, and a lot of people are like me that okay, how do I quantify that? How do I make 2000 CV, volume for me to make that $200 a month? How does that work? And at that point, understanding that you can see the bodies in green that you see here with 600 CV, how is this quantified? But if you go back to the previous slide, you are 100 CV. So for example, you sponsor me, I happen to be that person over here. Okay. Well, my 100 CV counts as 100. And when I sponsor my 5, well, that's quantified to 600 because you have your 5 plus yours. And that's how this is quantified over here. Knowing that you need to have a total of 2000 CV left and right. Well, what happens here is you can quantify here that there's 1800 here and 1200 there. So now you can see, okay, I understand now. I know what I need to do. And the moment you show people clarity, ultimate clarity on what they need to do, if they're not lazy, they will go ahead and do the work. If they're hungry enough, they will do the work. And then from there, they will know, okay, I got more these people. Now I'm training them. They're getting to their prime level 1. And that's what's going on. It's the prime level 1 that you want to duplicate. Don't worry, don't get all caught up on how much money do I make on prime level 1. This is some of the markets that we're stuck on that kind of got, that disturbed the growth of the organization. They were stuck on how much money they were making on prime level 1. So the prime level 1 is the strategy to get to these CVs that will grow your volume left and right. If the session is in Spanish, Luz, that's a really good question. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that if you fill in the forms, you can ask the questions. I think there might be a Q&A there, or a way to ask. And I can call Eric and ask him, but I will let you know, Luz. Just stay in touch with me on that note. Okay, so the next thing that's important in line of that, which you guys recall this on the presentation, is you can see here that we have 2000 CV on the left and 2000 CV on the right. So that's what's going on over here. This is where the $200 comes from. Again, I'm not going to get into the details on how this is calculated, but many of you are aware that you make 10% from the lesser leg, or really the reality is you get 5% from the left side, 5% from the right side, from the same amount that you extracted. And then from there, that would be, you add them up, and that will come up to the total of the 200. So I'm skipping the details when it comes to numbers, because you don't need to explain that to people. When you talk to people, you say, when you got 2000 on your left, 2000 on your right, you will earn anywhere between 200 to 500. Obviously, if it's 2000 even, it'll be $200. But in some cases, it might be 2000 on one side, or 2500 on one side, and maybe 3000 on the other side. Well, that will be $250 instead of $200. I know all of you here understand what I'm talking about. Okay. And if you don't, just put the comment on the message on the YouTube channel whenever this video is uploaded, and I will make sure that I will monitor. I get notification when someone has a question, and will address them if this is unclear for you. But the fact here is, as you keep building bronzes, it quantifies. Because every time you got a bronze, remember, you need 2000 on your left, 2000 on your right. What does that mean? Well, that means that if this person is a bronze associate, well, that will bring a total of 400 CV. But then again, this person over here also can benefit from the volume that's underneath. So it might get a little bit mathematical at the end, when you start looking at everybody. But here's how you compute this. Someone's bronze, they need to have 4000 CV. So as you keep building bronzes into your business, then you can appreciate the fact that you will start climbing the ladder of income that you see over here. Okay. So it's really that simple, and you don't want to complicate this more than it is. You don't have to talk about the 10% on the lesser leg. You don't have to talk about any of this stuff unless they really want to dig into it. You should understand that. And if it comes to that, then we can certainly help you there. Okay. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, and it's all about duplicating. So the more you duplicate this simple strategy, the faster you grow. And remember when I was saying, when you talk to people, to look at the opportunity, and you give them the choice of packages. The strategy that Chris is sharing with you is based on a personal pack, 100 points. But if they take higher packages, you'll have higher volumes. And if people are duplicating the middle packages or the higher packages, you're looking at, 300 points to 700 points. So it's going to grow faster. You're going to get at that rank faster for sure if you're working your strategy that way. But Chris is showing you the very basic. If everybody came in with 100 points, then that's what would happen.
100%. So in closing, what's important here, folks, is you got to make sure that your people are plugged in. This is probably one of the biggest common mistake that I see is people are not plugging in, right? They're not plugging in their team. And if you go to activeteamgroup.com, you'll notice if you're on your phone or on your computer, there is a subscribe button. When you click on that, it'll take you all the way to the bottom of the page, or just scroll all the way down to the page and just put name and email. I don't need anything else. And then you get added onto the database, and then you start receiving a few little welcome letters and so forth and everything else. But then they're plugged in. But in that welcome letter, we instruct people to connect to our different respective groups that we have available. Okay, the Telegram group, the Facebook Messenger group, all of this is there. And if it's not, I'll fix it. But the fact here is, I'll have to revisit this because I know we've updated some of the groups that we're dealing with. But the fact here is it plugs them in to the most current information. The email are important. Why? Because we share some podcasts, we share some events, we share some, for example, the Eric Worre things. You don't have to pick them all, but there's some that can really work in line with your efforts. And it's 2030. This is perfect. It fits exactly in the model. And March, you still have 2 weeks to prepare. So you're not finding this on the 28th of the month of February or whatever. I don't know how many. I know February is it's one of those odd months. But the fact here is you have plenty of time. Plenty of time. You have enough time to plan for this. And let's start waking up here, guys. I know that there is issues. Will there be other? It's possible. It's the world that we live in today, but we'll adjust. The fact is, these products, people need these products and people want these products. They will wait for it. I'm telling you, it's not ideal, but because of our products, it plays in our favor. Where many other companies, dealing with coffees and again, no disrespect to any other, it doesn't have the same pull. Right? The science is not there. The credibility is not there. And the results are certainly not the same. We know that. So you can bank that. And the other thing is a success cycle series, go through them. Go through them. Making your lists, inviting, or let me rephrase that, prospecting, which is the early stage of getting into a date. And then after that, invite. And then you follow up, third-party credibility, getting people started. And there's other trainings around that, like the 10 step to success and everything else. Doesn't matter what you do. The principles are the same. Okay. So I highly, highly recommend that you take advantage of those things. And you really, if you want to make a difference, I'm telling you, Tammy and I are running with this. We're absolutely running with it. And in fact, we already started. Many of you are aware, Tammy and I, and many of you are using this. We're using the Now site. If you would like to have a site like that, let us know. We'll give you the link. You have 7 days for free to try it out. I'm telling you, I absolutely adore that system. Every single day I use it. And I'm creating a whole email campaign. Many of you might have received an email this morning, or actually just now this evening, in reference to the call that we're doing on Thursday. Okay. And that came out through the Now site, but I'm also doing it through Wix, which is the normal email system that I've been using for about 10 years or so, or close, to promote all of our events. So at the end of the day here, folks, is we have everything you need. Don't focus on what's not working, because that you will always find it. Focus on what is. And focus all your energy there. I would really concentrate on the CellGVT. And that's the reason why the Thursday calls are going to be about the glutathione technology, which is the Max One and the CellGVT. I understand the Max One, I believe, is in back order at the moment, but the CellGVT is not. I know Tammy and I are receiving our Omegas right now in the US. I think in Canada, you are too. Beautiful, awesome. God, we love this product. I'm in love with our products, I have to admit. But the fact here is, again, folks, we're gonna get to all of this. As long as we are in business, products will always be delivered. So we want to help you get there. And I know there's a lot of different projects. And at the end of the day, folks, Tammy and I are doing well. We're very, very happy with the directions and the things that are happening right now, and we're staying the course. And I know Joe Wojtek, you just said a meeting that's coming up within the Spanish market. Lots of things going on. They ask us to be part of it. So, folks, don't get caught up into the gray zone of kind of standing still. Just focus. Excuse me. Focus on what's working. Don't waste your time on what's not working. Like I said, you will always find something. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, the key is to put your Max business in your calendar, because the more focused you are on your daily method of operation and you have your follow-up schedule, the more organized you are that way, the more successful you'll become. So make sure that that's in the agenda. If it's just a thought, we all know how busy life is. The hours just fly by, and then you go, oh, I didn't do anything today. Oh, I only did this today. But if you schedule time slots of building, that's when you're going to see some results with your business.
Absolutely. Okay, everybody, that's the end of the session. We're done here. If there's any comments or questions, and Luz, I will get back to you. Please do send me a message. And by the way, folks, if you send me a message and I don't respond, sometimes I'm just a little bit overwhelmed and I do a lot of things. And but if you're persistent and kind of chasing me a little bit, and it's not going to be that much, it's just to remind me, Chris, can you answer this or do that? I will follow up. And Beth, I want to also mention, we're not doing special flyers for the Thursdays. It's getting overwhelming. Last time when people change and they can't make it, and changing pictures and name, it's just too much. It's overwhelming. But we do have the Canva master copy that you can just change pictures and name and keep the flyer. So if that interests you, because you want to create your own flyer to promote your own event, which really you should be doing, we'll give you that. But one thing I'm telling you that works very well, and we're kind of, I wouldn't say testing because it's been tested for a long time, but Tammy and I are familiarizing ourselves with StreamYard, which is broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook Live at the same time. I'm going to be doing this live with Max International for the very first time, but it's not my first one doing a broadcast, but it's my first time doing it with Max. And I'm telling you, folks, the reason I'm excited about this is because in our channel, we have close to 1,500. It's not 1,500, but it's close to it. And what's really nice is YouTube notifies people that there is a new broadcast that's about to take place. Everybody gets a notification. And the moment you go on live, people get a notification that, oh, there's a live session that you're actually, that you're connected to. You connect to that channel. It will notify these people. And the reason why I know is when I was testing it, I noticed that 2, 3, 4 people were popping in from different parts of the world, wondering what am I broadcasting? So instead of having 0 people in your meetings, you're always going to have someone there. But I do not recommend that you just rely on that, because at the end of the day, this is not going to grow your volume. What's going to grow your volume is by promoting within your own social environment. I know PJs have created a video that you guys can piggyback on. I recommend also to take the link that's already there for the 15th and share it within your own social media environment for people to be aware of this. And make sure you follow up with these people. And the key is to have a lot of people interacting, sharing, and the comments. And as you know, when people share comments and feedback, we can bring them right to the screen and share it and interact with them. It's a different atmosphere that really Zoom is more like boxed in, if you understand the meaning, right? Where the live is broadcasted openly. So I think it's really going to help getting the word out there about our products and the stories around our products. Event will be live stream in English only. Yeah, for the time being, Sue, I wish I mean, you know, we will do French, we can do Spanish, but I'm relying on people that speak the language, and I'm organizing where you guys will be able to be hosts. You don't have to install anything with StreamYard. Many of you are aware of this. You just need to create an account. Every single one of you can have a free account. Every single one of you can start broadcasting now, but you'll have the StreamYard logo on the top right corner. Once you buy the pro version, which I think is $250 a year, it's not that bad, then it removes the logo, and then it has, you can put whatever you want. I'm not going to put a logo there. It's just going to be our slides. And then there's an other upgrade, which I'm going to pay for, so I can have people like yourselves, and I think I can have up to 9 or 10 hosts that can actually log in and use StreamYard as if it's their account to be able to broadcast. And it's going to be broadcasting into the account that it's connected to. So you won't have any problems like we had with Zoom, where if, let's say, you're not connected to my YouTube channel, it's not yours, or Facebook Live, it's not going to give you a problem there. It's just going to broadcast it there automatically. And it's a shift that we're applying. And why am I saying all of this is because of that, the flyers, you can create your own, but I'm not going to be doing this for these sessions. Okay. But we will give you the master copy if you want on a Canva version. And then you guys can modify by putting your pictures or whatever you want there, and change the text and the dates and everything else. Anything else, Tammy, before we end?
No, I was just looking at Lucy's last comment that it's going to be in English only, the 20 and 30. That's what she was asking.
Oh, you're talking about the Eric event.
Yeah. Probably just because it's a $10 item.
Yeah. Okay.
And $10 replay, because it's costs a lot of money to start getting translations done. And yeah, and many of it's like at least two different languages that they do translating when they have bigger events. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marina was saying that when you start adding languages, the price tag is outrageous. It's, I mean, really expensive the moment you start. And when you start adding multiple languages, it's very expensive. When you charge $10 a month, it's very, very difficult. But the one thing I can tell you is, want to remind you that on YouTube, now I'm not sure if Eric's going to broadcast on you. I have no idea. Probably not, because people have to pay the $9.97. But the point is, on YouTube, there is a little wheel setting button on the bottom of every video. You can choose to activate subtitling. It's just this new AI. It's by default now. And then and then I think there's something like 250 languages you can pick from. Of course, it's not going to be perfect in the language of choice, but it's enough to understand the context of what's being talked about. So keep that in mind as we're doing stuff in English when they're live broadcasts, is to train your people to activate the subtitling and select the language of choice, because that works really, really well. Appreciate your comments, Sue, Luz. So this is really, really important that you keep that in mind, so people are not handicapped by the language barrier, because the AI today, it's a non-issue. So anyway, I didn't want to go too much over the time here. I just wanted to make sure that we share with you the knowledge that we have. It's a bit of a memory dump, but let's focus on reaching core. Let's get back to work and building our Max business, and let's do the right activities. Folks, there's a lot of people that want these products. If they don't want these products, there's other alternatives. But I'm telling you, people are looking for these products. Just go out there and just start asking the question and use the tools. And I'm telling you, these stories could be very, very helpful to help someone understand the benefits of how this can work for them. So everybody, have yourself a great evening, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate you guys. The call's recorded and it will be posted by tomorrow on the YouTube channel. And remember, on the StreamYard, you don't have to wait anymore, because it's in real time. Okay, everybody. Bye for now.